What is going on YouTube? Yes, sir. I'm Zen back with another video. 50K funded. Um, so far, the month of June has started off on a pretty good note. As you can see, here's a trade log. We actually took a loss on Friday, and I was thinking, I think I might just be done for the day. The green streak might just end there. Then I saw another setup, and then actually caught some points. Pretty much ended well, I cut the trade off just to end pretty much break even, but I actually went to full external TP. So we're just gonna talk about all of that today. Um, in the commentary section, so starting off on Friday, really what I wanted to see on Friday was what, the 6th, right? I believe. Yeah. So coming into 1 hour for rally gap when we were in deep premium. So initially I wanted to see us kind of retrace back into at least equilibrium of the range and then continue higher. Now keep this in mind, right? I said this earlier. I could have avoided the first loss if I listened to myself, right? I wanted to see us retrace back into equilibrium, right? So this is the 1 hour for rally gap here that I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and delete most of this, and then let me go ahead and delete all of this. Oh, there you go. Right, so here's the 1 hour for rally gap we actually end up tapping into, and I kind of wanted to see a retracement back into the 15-minute or something like that. Now this initially does happen, but I actually could have avoided doing anything in the meantime if I just actually listened to myself. I kind of just went into this trade. I was still bullish, right? I was still bullish on the higher time frame, and we were kind of just holding bullish structure, but for some reason I took this trade right over here. I didn't enter off candle closure. I actually entered off of this candle, the second one. I saw that we started to reach. I saw we came back down to fulfill this inverse for rally gap, and I liked the candle flip, right? So I was like, okay, we'll have TP1 over here, and then potentially maybe target buy side external liquidity that's on the higher time frame here. But that actually did not end up working, as you can see here. That did not end up working whatsoever. Then I'm like, okay, what is the next big thing? Let me go ahead and do something. So like, what is the next big thing, right? So I was waiting for this, and so this is the first trade I took. So this was an L, right? So this was around like 27 points or whatever. And I started to notice, we're building LR on the 1 minute time frame. If you guys don't know what LR is, it's just lower resistance liquidity run, and it's just, as you can see here, it's just it's just a bunch of highs being made, but have not been taken yet whatsoever. So this is just overall just pretty good liquidity sitting resting above, and oftentimes price likes to run these liquidity all at once, or maybe just tap run one and then continue lower, or whatever price wants to do at that point in time. So if we're looking at this, and remember earlier I said I wanted to retrace back into equilibrium of the range or whatever. I draw the GAN box from this high to down over here. So this is pretty much the range, or you could draw it all the way down here. But for the most part, this is the range we're playing in. Price actually retraces back into equilibrium, as you can see here. This is the range right here. So here's the top of the range, here's the bottom of the range. This also aligns with a higher time frame for value gap, or a PD array. So actually, if I listened to myself in the very first, the first trade could have been avoided, and I could have ended the day off really green, right? So this second trade, here's what happens. So we actually end up taking some external sell side liquidity down over here, right? So we have an X. Not only that, we have an SMT with ES, right? This was an SMT with ES. I can show you guys that SMT here. Where is that SMT? This is this. Yeah. So ES actually ended up just taking out this low as well, right? So pretty much turtle soup that low. We ended up tapping that, and then on the higher time frame, right? It would have been better if we had a tap into this right over here. It would have been way better if we had tapped into like a fair value gap or something. But you pretty much, like, if you look at this right over here, you can basically, I guess, count this as a tap in as well, right? This inverse for value gap. but I don't know, I don't really acknowledge stuff like that, but I did see it and I was like, okay, maybe this might be enough. And I'm still bullish, right? I'm still overall bullish, and I still want to see, this high get taken before anything else. And then potentially maybe even this high. So I'm like, okay, this might be another good trade. This trade actually looks 10 times better than this one. I actually could have avoided the first trade if I was just, sticking to what I knew, right? Like in the beginning of the video, I talked about I wanted to see a retracement or something back into equilibrium of the range. That's currently where we are at right now, right? We retraced back into equilibrium, actually touched out in the discount, and then fair value gap right here, inverse fair value gap into premium sequence, right? So inverse fair value gap here, in discount into premium sequence, right? Which is up all the way up here. And this trade actually ends up hitting for 54 points. Not only that, if you look on the 15-minute as well, we do have a 15-minute order block here that we ended up respecting. Let me go ahead and do that. And I'll just make this a different color for you guys. I'm gonna just make this red for now, right? Here is your 15-minute fair value gap. I mean, your 15-minute order block here that we actually just tapped into, and then kind of just went back up as well. So this is the trade recap for Thursday. I mean, for Friday that I ended up taking. Again, I really could have avoided this first trade. I don't know. I wrote down in my journal. I thought, I don't know. I think I was kind of just rushing it. I think, oh, this might just be a quick work day here, right? Just enter, take out this high, and I'm done for the day. I should have waited a bit more. Like this fair value gap tap in right here. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think I just got faked out, right? I think I just got faked out. I think the draw of liquidity was correct, right? This is the high that price wanted to draw towards before doing any other move, right? So we took out this high. We actually ended up turtle souping this high, and then we actually ended up just continuing lower, back tapping into this PDA right down over here. So the draw of liquidity was correct, right? I'm happy I was able to get that, but I think it was just more of a premature. I tried to rush things a bit more. Like this second trade, like compare this second trade to this first trade, and tell me it just looks 10 times better, right? Sweep of internal liquidity. We have an S&T with ES, inverse for value gap tap in. We were in equilibrium of the range / discount. We have a low resistance liquidity run built up right over here. Good momentum off of this. We have a 15-minute order block we tapped into. We also have a 1-minute order block sitting down over here. And then we have another 1-minute order block over here as well that we just keep tapping into and then continuing sponsoring the move to go higher, right? So this second trade just looks 10 times more better. 10 times better than the first trade, right? It just looks completely different from the first trade. And I think that really has to show, especially when you're, when I journal, right? I basically want all of my trades to look like the second trade. Like, so many confluences, everything's adding up, everything's stacking up on top of each other, and it makes sense, right? Like the move upwards makes sense compared to this first trade, right? So I just want all of my trades to essentially look like this one. And for the most part, if you watch my other videos, they pretty much do. But I just think I just messed up, right? I was just pretty impatient when I took this first trade, and then I pretty much ended the day break even, and it's fine, right? Technically the green stick still goes. I haven't had a single red day so far in a while. Knocking on wood. This week this week might be it. Who knows? I might blow up this week and then just blow my accounts, and then I don't know, right? But for the most part, keeping it simple, keeping it clean, making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, staying locked in with the charts. And just being a sponge, right? We're supposed to be observers of the market, not trying to predict it, right? This is observed. I observed the market. I was observing the market. Price was telling me what to do, and I followed with it, and it ended up making me break even, and then it'll just ending the day not red. So it was a good Friday. Good learning experience, not to get cocky or overconfident in my stuff, because I'm pretty sure I felt a little bit overconfident on this trade right over here, and that pretty much ended me getting my first trade being red, just because I've been on a pretty good green streak for a while, and it was a good gut check, right? Like don't get overconfident. You still got to do what you got to do. You still got to follow your rules no matter what, right? I think on my journal, I've been writing on my journal, instead of trying to make 2K a week, how about you follow your rules for a week? How about you follow your rules for the month instead of trying to make 4K a month, right? Follow your rules. The money is a byproduct. The money is a byproduct of you following your rules, of you following your trading plan. And yeah, so far so good. Good start off to the month. Looking forward to this month. And looking forward to this coming week. And we'll see what's happening. I appreciate you guys for sticking to the end of the video. And I will see you guys in the next 50K TopStep funded recap. Peace.